down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
Yeah, savvy investors out there. Today's episode is down and dirty quick and hopefully helpful in some way or another. Here is several questions, 5 to be specific, that I constantly get over and over of confusion between myself when I was just running properties to the property management company that I have now as an investor, okay? Remember, as an investor, landlord, whatever you want to be, call yourself, it's all the same. Your goal should be to buy more assets. Basically, you don't have time to be jerking around and with confusion with the tenant. And keep in mind, people don't read and they don't listen. So here's my 5 top things to educate your tenants on. Number 1, proper 30-day notice. Okay? Proper 30-day notice. All right, here's the confusion. People just stroll into the office or by text or email and say, hey, I'm moving out at the end of the month. And it's the 10th of the month. Whoa, hold up, wait a minute. You can't do that. A proper 30-day notice is on or before the 1st of the month. You need to be very clear in your lease. And when you're signing a lease with someone, you need to let them know. I have this very specific in my lease. If you stroll in here on the 3rd and want to move out at the end of the month, it actually pushes to the next following month. Okay. So you got to explain it to them, meaning like you have to give a 30-day notice. It's the law. And it works for me too. I can't give them a 30-day notice on the 15th. And a lot of your tenants will just assume that. They're not focused on you. And you as an investor, you need to pay attention to this because you're going to lose several weeks of turning it over if you get a date that's not the right 30-day notice. So the goal is they give you a proper 30-day notice, then you have 30 days to market the property. And if you're super savvy, you communicate with that tenant and convince them to show the property for you with a bonus, like $100, and you can get it pre-rented out before they even move out. So don't be lazy. Be stern on the front end. A proper 30-day notice. It is the law in Oklahoma that you have to give a proper 30-day notice on or before the 1st. So you can't do it on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or the 10th. And that also applies to you, landlords as well. All right. Number 2, refunding deposit. The question that I get from tenants all the time, when am I going to get my deposit back? Can I get it today? Ma'am, the law says in Oklahoma, I guess some people listen out in Texas, some people listen in Colorado, New York, wherever you listen. I would assume this is the same thing, but again, I just want to get that disclaimer out there. We have 30 days to give your deposit back within 30 days. And guys and gals, take the 30 days, not the full 30 days, but do your due diligence. Go over there, take pictures, document any damages, and don't be shady. Give them their money back within reason. If there is some paint chipping, don't charge them $400 to repaint the whole house. If the judge ever sees that, they'll throw it out of court. So just heads up on that. But give your deposit back in 30 days. And so educate your tenant on the front end. Hey, we want to give you your deposit back and we want to give it to you as soon as possible. If you get out early, sure, we'll jump and give you your deposit back. But usually this is what happens. You drop off your keys or you let us know the date that you're going to move out, and then we'll schedule a time. I usually schedule this time by myself with another staff member. We videotape and take pictures of the unit. So then after we do that, we itemize it in writing, and then we mail the deposit off to them. You know, in our office, we're trying to get it done as quickly as possible, but your tenant, they're assuming that they get their money back the day they move out. No. Okay? Educate them. Pest control. Number 3. This is a big one. I swear, every time someone moves in, hey, do you spray for pests? Well, we're very clear on the front end. Again, this is about educating your tenant on the front end about these key top 5 things. Pests. The thing that we say, ma'am, after you take possession, we do not spray for pests. And the reason is that we do an inspection when the prior tenant moves out. We go over there with a fine comb tip, whatever the frick that saying is, and we look all up and down in the attic, in the garage, everywhere, and we don't see any signs of pests. Okay, and the house may be vacant for a couple of weeks or a couple of days. We don't see pests. When you come and do a walkthrough, there's no pests. So we're not going to spray a week later, 2 weeks later, 6 months later. One reason, ma'am, is because the boxes that you're getting for free from the Chinese restaurant or from Walmart or wherever these boxes are coming from, they may have bugs in them and or they love glue. So when you get a free box and you bring it to your home and you pack it up, there might be bugs in there. You might be bringing bugs from where you're coming from. We do not spray for bugs. We don't do pest control. If you see a spider, we can't control that. We can't control mice. We don't know how clean you are. So we're up front with it. Now, here's a phone number you can call this company, and we know that they charge this amount of money. And so that's how we handle that. A great investor in St. Louis, Ed O'Toole, taught me this. He's like, when you're getting a lot of problems with tenants that are complaining about pest control, you say, okay, sure, go to Home Depot or go to Walmart and pick out some spray stuff and we'll refund you. It's usually like $10. They never do it anyway. It's a good idea to get them off your back because that's all you need is another phone call or another text message about pest control. There's bigger and better things and you should be out there buying assets. Number 4, taking possession of a property. If you've rented an apartment building before, you probably know this, and you have to turn the utilities on before they move in. You need to enforce that, okay? Tell the tenant before they move in, when they come and sign the lease, the utilities are turned on in your name. And if you have a staff or if you have time, you need to verify that or have them bring verification that they pay the deposit. There's nothing like getting a tenant in there and they can't get the utilities turned on. You got 2 options. You kick them back out. You just lost another month and some change. You loan them money. Dumb. I've heard people do that. And that, whatever the case may be. But here's another scenario to really dive this into your mind. I had a Section 8 property. I had a guy move in. All of his boxes were there. He lived there for 6 weeks. After the first month, he didn't pay. Ooh, we did get our Section 8 money, but his part, he never paid, never answered the phone. What in the world? So we went to the property. There was only boxes there. So we evicted the guy. We kicked him out. Next thing you know, another month went by. Of course, we didn't get our Section 8 payment, but not that they didn't pay us in our bank account. Guess what Section 8 did? They took the money right out. Oh, no, wait a minute. Direct deposit can also be reversed on you. Yes, that's one thing that you need to consider out there, folks. So, here's a little tip for you. Have your direct deposit and then transfer money to another account so no one could ever suck money out of that account. So that's one tip for you. Hopefully write that down. Put down the hammer. Pick up the pencil. But when I freaking blasted Section 8 and called them up, dude, the guy lived there. I saw him there. He was in the property. This is what the gal said to me. He never took possession. What do you mean? Well, he never had the utilities in his name. Sure enough, he didn't. How did he get the lights turned on? Maybe some mistress, maybe some friend, maybe his mom, but he didn't. And guess what? Not only that I lost 2 months, they took the money back out. So it was a waste of time because I didn't have them taking possession properly with having the utilities turned on. And number 5, the eviction process. Explain the eviction process. I have a flyer. It may be on my website. If it's not, I need to get it up there. But I walk them through the eviction process. It's kind of sad. Hey, we're all excited. Here's your deposit. You get to move into your new home. Yay! I think of it when I look at that contract. Yay! That lease is like a contract. They're paying $500 a month. I'm thinking $6,000. The tenant's thinking, I'm moving in to my new crib. I'm thinking residual income. Yeah. And then I hit them with, this is the deal. We don't play around when it comes to not paying your rent. Your rent is due on or before the 1st, period. On the 2nd, we give you 1 day of grace. On the 3rd, we're going to serve you a 5-day notice. That's the law. And then I go into the whole breakdown of how the eviction process works. 1, you need to pay your rent on or before the 1st. 2, if you don't pay your rent on time, we serve you get you with a late payment. You don't want to pay the late payment. 2, we put a 5-day notice on your door. Now, you are in eviction status. Basically, the contract, the lease that we have is almost nil and void because you broke the agreement, and now you're in eviction status. Now you have 5 days to pay back your rent, your late rent, and all the fees. We charge them a administration fee to post a notice, a late fee, so they're racking up minutes. After the 5th, if you do not pay your rent, by then we will file an eviction. We go down to the courthouse. We turn it over to an attorney. Boom. Now you have a $350 fee from the attorney. Then we have a court date. You go to your court date. You'll get served. A process server will serve you. Now it's public record. It will be on your record that you're getting sued from this management company, and you will have to go to court. If you don't go to court, this is what will happen. You'll get a default judgment. Then, after court date, we file a writ. You'll be charged even more money, filing fees, and a writ charge. The sheriff will come onto your property. He will post a notice. Then you have within 48 hours to vacate the premise completely. And then you're out. That's the process of eviction. Here's the deal. We don't even want to go there. I know you're a great tenant. I know you're going to pay. So let's not even play that. But I just want to be very clear. This is the eviction process. This is the state law. This is how it rolls out. But I know you're a great tenant. I know you're going to pay on time. But just in case something happens, and I always give them this example, you can't go to a restaurant and order food and eat it and not pay for it. It's illegal. It's called theft. Think of it like that. If you don't pay your gas bill, they shut it off. You don't pay your electricity bill, they shut it off. So if you had to come boil it down, am I going to pay my cable bill or am I going to pay my rent? Don't pay your cable bill because you're not going to have a place to watch your cable on. All right. So that's the 5 things that I stress and educate, and that you should educate your future tenants on. 1, proper 30-day notice. 2, when do we refund their deposit? Within 30 days. 3, pest control. How do we do it? How does it work? If you want us to do it, we'll charge you, but it's on you. You pay for it. Taking possession. Number 4, show us that you have the utilities in your name, the name that is on the lease. That is critical. And number 5, I think the big daddy, the eviction process. What happens when you don't pay your rent? Hopefully this will help you. Hopefully this encourages you. Hopefully this helps you to get your ducks in a row, get your paperwork organized. Do your job. This is a business, and happy landlording. If you are not a landlord and you're going to be a landlord, you just got educated. If you're not, and you are, and you want to be, whatever you do, buy an asset. Go out and buy a freaking vending machine. Buy something instead of a television that's going to bring you income on a weekly, daily, monthly basis. Other than that, my name is Steven Van Kallenberg. You've listened to the Savvy Radio Show. If you liked it, awesome. I would love to hear about it. Go to the website, savvyradioshow.com. Click on the voicemail button. Leave a voicemail. Let me know what you think. If you have a question, I would love to take care of it. Other than that, get out there, get it done, and go buy assets.
Investor Weekend is not far off, with over 10 information sessions to increase your portfolio. Log on to www.investorweekend.com. Whether you are a seasoned investor or never purchased a property before, you don't want to miss the Investor Weekend. Join us for a powerful, knowledge-packed weekend with over 10 informational sessions that are bound to enlarge your real estate investments. You will hear from the best national and local real estate investors that will share practical and relevant experiences with you, the investor. There will be several networking sessions to connect with other like-minded people for potential funding, partnerships, and yes, hot deals. Go to www.investorweekend.com. Did you know we meet once a month for the Landlord Lunch Meeting? The third Wednesday of every month. Go to landlordlunch.com.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.